Well, Mohammed, thank you very much for joining us here on the Asian game at what is a very exciting, but no doubt a very difficult time for you and everyone in Palestine at the moment. Exciting because you're on the verge of that third straight AFC Asian Cup appearance, but obviously incredibly difficult with everything that's happening back in Palestine at the moment. First and foremost, all your friends and family, is everyone safe that you know back in Palestine at the moment?
Yeah, my family is great. They're good. I mean, not great. They're good. They're away from the big war, let's say, because the big things are happening are in Gaza. But I actually had friends who passed away in Gaza lately, past 2 weeks. One of them very close, but you know, we are expecting this every day now. So it's nothing new, but it's very heartbreaking.
Mm. My condolences. I don't know how it is that you're able to possibly prepare for a tournament like this when, as you said, you're almost expecting death, expecting to get the bad news. How is it that the team has been able to prepare under those circumstances?
Preparing physically is easy, I believe. It's normal to prepare physically. It's the mental part that's a little bit hard. Um, Speaking personally about me, because I don't know how the rest of the team prepares mentally. Each player has his own way. But for me, what I do is before match day, end of match day, I don't look at the news. I try to stay away from it because, like I said before, it's really heartbreaking. And sometimes it takes a negative toll on you if you watch these things too much. Um, Other than that, the rest of the week, the rest of the days, I'm actually looking at the news. And like I said, I try as much as possible to stay focused mentally on what I'm here for. And what I'm here for, part of it, or big part of it, is making the people back home and in Gaza happy and bringing the name of Palestine to the top with using the big platform of the biggest continental tournament. Um, so these are the motivational things that I speak to myself about to get myself prepared mentally for the tournament.
Uh, Take us inside the camp if you can. What is daily life like in the team at the moment? I imagine there's a lot of emotion. As you said, you knew people that have passed away. I'm sure everyone in the team has known people that have passed away over the last couple of weeks, months. As you said, you're constantly looking at the news. I'm sure you're not the only one who's like that, trying to keep in contact with loved ones, finding out if they're safe. So, what is daily life like for you and everyone else in the team? Is there a kind of normal process that you go through daily? What is it like?
I wouldn't say normal. It's because you don't know what's gonna come. You don't know what the news are the next day or the next hour. Actually, you are not expecting the best news. You're always, you're preparing yourself for the worst news every hour, basically. But you try your best to overcome those news, and this is what we're dealing with or working with. Uh, Other than that, it's normal. You go to the gym in the morning, and you have night training with the team. Um, Lunch, dinner, and breakfast, whatnot. You try his best to, in the times that the team is together, for example, lunch and dinner and training, to get the atmosphere a little bit more. I wouldn't say happy, but like more content to be together and try to get each other out of that negative zone. We try to put each other in the comfort zones, especially the two players who are from Gaza who have relatives there. You try to joke around a little bit with them, laugh with them because they are dealing with the heaviest negative uh, emotions. I
Mm.
believe. We are all dealing with it, but I think they're on a higher level than the rest of the team because, like I said, they have family who are living there. So really, for them, they're waiting for the news every minute of the day. They wait to talk to their families every minute of the day to make sure that they're still alive. So, and we try our best to stay compact with, especially with these two, but the whole team we try to stay compact because we know what we're here for, and we know the main goal is to, you know, advance and make the people happy back home and play for the lost lives that we've had, the lost homes, the prisoners, the martyrs, everyone. So this is just how it is for now.
Mm. Of course, in amongst everything that's going on, there is still a major football tournament to prepare for. The team spent time in Algeria recently. You're in Doha now. You said you had a friendly match last night against Uzbekistan. From a football perspective, how are preparations coming along for the tournament?
I think pretty well because, like I said, seeing the team play yesterday with the heart and coming out with all the motivation, coming out with all the football in them, it's pretty amazing to see this under all the circumstances. Um, Normally, you would expect the opposite. Some people would like put their heads down and seeing what's happening. But alhamdulillah, we're different than this. We're people who are competitive. We like to fight, and we like to do our best for everyone who is watching us, everyone who's supporting us, especially the people back home. Uh, from a football standpoint, I think we are preparing pretty good. And I think mentally we're preparing pretty good because, like I said, this is very mental. It's going to be a very mental tournament than it is physical because the physical part, I think everybody's ready. Everybody has been training. Everybody has been doing what they have to do to get ready physically for this tournament. But the mental part is where tricky. But I think that everybody's on that same level of mental stability coming into the tournament. And I've seen this yesterday in a friendly match, and hopefully we'll see it again tomorrow. We have another one.
Mm. You've mentioned the mental side of this campaign quite a bit now. Is there anyone within camp, psychologists or anyone within the team that players are able to speak to, or are you just leaning on each other to get through this period?
No, no, we lean on each other to get through this period. It's us. You try to bring as much positive energy into the team, into the group, between each other, between the coaches, between the medical staff, everyone. When you're doing this, you're bringing a whole different energy into the team. Um, knowing the circumstances that are happening back home. So because I've been learning a lot about the mental side of football lately for the past few months, I would say, and it has changed my performance a lot. This is why I keep mentioning the mental part of the game, and uh, this is what we need the most right now. Being mentally tough, mentally strong, is what's going to get us to the farthest point in this league. I hope, or tournament. Sorry.
You've mentioned that you feel like it's changed you as a player. How do you find that it's changed you? Do you find that you're much mentally stronger now? How has it changed you?
Yes, I think it's changed me a lot more. Um, than what I used to be because before I would say that I was mentally strong, but not like now. Now it's a whole different situation, especially with what's going on. I think this challenged me. Sorry, especially in the club when the war first broke out, and I started working on myself. I have a relative who's actually a sports mental trainer. I started to speak to him more and see what he thinks, and I started seeing things in a different view and in football I started seeing things in a different view, and one thing that sticks in my head is you always you always try to work on what you can control. The things that you cannot control that are not in your hands that you can control them, these are things that are that's out of your boundary.
Mm.
So you have to accept it. You have to accept it, and you have to work on what you can control. Basically what you can control is your performance, your eating habits, your sleeping habits, your training habits. These are things that you can work on. But as far as it comes to, for example, the war, the result of a match, these are things that are controlled by God. And these are things that I cannot change myself, but I can work my best to, for example, I will bust my behind in the match, for example, to get the best result for to help my team. However, in a war, what I can do is pray to God that this will stop. Post on my social media to let the people know what's going on. This is my part. So when I started, knowing more of this and working more, that okay, because the first 2 weeks of the war, I was really devastated. It was a really hard time, seeing everything that's happening and all this stuff, and it was really hard. I wasn't able to train well, and luckily, I didn't have any matches at the time. There was a break, and it was really a hard time. However, after I started realizing these things and speaking to my relative about this, and he started giving me these tips, things have changed so much. I was able to score a couple goals, get a couple assists in the league. So these are things for me that have been helping me, and I've been seeing my performance go up. I've been going a level up every now and then when I start to work on my mental side.
I was lucky enough to be in Qatar just over 12 months ago for the World Cup, and the support for Palestine from all fans across the region, it couldn't be escaped. You couldn't go more than a couple of minutes without seeing a Palestinian flag draped over someone's shoulders. Given the circumstances at the moment, are you expecting a lot more support from in the stands and around Doha from everyone? A lot more support for Palestine at this tournament?
I think so, yes, because we've been seeing it right now. When we go to training, for example, we see people who see the bus because it says Palestine on the outside of it. We see people cheering and whatnot. So I think, yes, I think it will be a lot more people supporting this time than it was, for example, in the Arab Cup or in the last World Cup qualifiers. So
What
I
does it
think there's
mean to
more.
the
I think
sorry, I was going to say, sorry, what does it mean to the team to know that you have that support, not just from Palestinians, but you have that support from everyone, not only just across the MENA region, but from across Asia generally as well? I'm sure you've seen it in Indonesia. What does knowing that you've got that support mean to the players?
it means a lot, to be honest. That's like the biggest motivational push that we can have, and it's positive energy in our backs. Because this means that the people are seeing what the real truth is when you see more support, even from the West. The Western people, like for example, I've been seeing support from United States people, from English people, Danish, Netherlands. I've been Australians even. I've been seeing so much support, and I've been receiving many messages from different people around the world and different ethnicities. And this to me is it's a great thing. It's an honor, to be supported by these people, because you can see that they're seeing the real truth of what's happening, unlike before. Because I think this war, uh, I think it gave people, a different point of view of, the conflict that's been happening there for 80 years now. I think it gave them a chance to start researching what's happening and seeing who's the victim and who's victimized and who's the oppressor and all these things. So I think for us, this is a great thing, honestly, but at what cost? You know what I mean? The cost is just, it's unbelievable.
Too much, yeah.
But yeah, it's too much, but it happened. We can't escape it. It happened, and it's happening. It's been happening for 80 years, but better late than never is what they say.
Mm.
At least now
Uh,
they see the real truth.
Yeah. If you had a message for the authorities, footballing authorities, political authorities, what message would you send to them right about now? Of course, we saw the action that the sporting authorities quickly took against Russia. There's been nothing of the kind against Israel at the moment. If you had a message for the authorities, what would that be?
Yeah, it's amazing how when it comes to Palestine, they never mix sports and politics. But when Russia did what it did, they did it. They didn't even think about it. It was sports and politics. Yeah, they do mix at the time. It's very hypocritical in my point of view. And honestly, we've lost many players. Actually, we just lost a coach who coached in the under 23 national team,
Yeah, I saw.
and may his soul rest in peace. Um, and many stadiums in Gaza has been bombed. I actually was a victim of stadium interference. I was playing in Jabal Mukabba, and we were playing a final match in the cup. and the soldiers just started throwing tear gas bombs into the pitch, and it was a disaster. Um, and to be honest, to be blind of these things of what's happening is a shame. And when the FIFA calls for humanity, and those authorities call for humanity, then when they see what's happening over there, and they just blind themselves and close their eyes, this is when you start. Okay, you start questioning their humanity. You start questioning of whether they should be authorities or not, because it's unbelievable, honestly. And my message to them is open your eyes and see the real truth of what's happening, because honestly, it's not that hard. It's right in your faces.
Mm.
Uh, how can 20,000 innocent children be gone and dead, and you're still calling us the terrorists? I mean, come on. Sorry for my words. I think this
No.
shouldn't be published or said, but it's the real truth. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's very, I'm speechless about this because I see it every day, and it makes me really angry, honestly, because what more has to happen for them to realize that, okay, these people, the white and blue flag, they're just doing everything they want to do because the whole world is allowing them, or not the world, I would say the big authorities are allowing them.
Mm.
This is why they're not stopping. But if someone takes action from the big countries or whatever, or the big authorities, maybe something will stop or some change will happen. But since nobody's telling them anything, then yeah, they're gonna keep doing what they're doing. So yeah, they banned Russia from football. They banned Russia from football as soon as they did what they did to Ukraine, but they're not even budging to do anything or speak anything to Israel for what they're doing. So it's really hypocritical. It's just a messed up road.
Mm, indeed. It's been very heavy on the politics. Let's finish by talking about some football again. What is possible for Palestine at this tournament, do you think? As I said, playing at your third straight Asian Cup, haven't won a game in the previous two, but did manage to draw a couple back in 2019. I'm looking at the group stage. Iran, UAE will be tricky, but that final game against Hong Kong strikes me as a real opportunity for a slice of history and a historic first win. So, what is possible for Palestine at this tournament?
I think everything is possible because there's no impossible in football. We've seen so many underdog stories, I would say. For example, Morocco in the World Cup. We've seen what North Macedonia did to Italy to qualify to
Mm.
the Euros. We've seen many underdog stories, and I'm not telling you that we're gonna, go and win the tournament or whatever, but everything is a possibility in football. The first match against Iran is a possibility for us. We played against Australia. We lost 1-0 in the qualifiers, but we really had the chance to minimum come out with a draw. I think when we come out to play and when we're focused, I think we can do a lot on the pitch. And to be honest with you, I don't think that I don't think that it's easy to qualify, and I don't think it's hard to qualify to the next round.
Mm.
So I think it's all in our hands. And the first main goal is to score one goal because we haven't scored a goal in the Asian Cup so far. Actually, we scored one goal in 2015. Um, but like you said, we haven't won. This is, the main target that we have. We need to win one match at least. Um, and the second goal is to advance to the next round. And this is a dream to all of us, and it's a dream to the people in the country. This is something that we all are looking forward to, and I think it's in our hands. We just have to believe. We have to believe that it's not impossible, but we also have to know that it's not easy, and it's not difficult at the same time. You don't underestimate your opponent, and you don't you respect your opponent, but you don't underestimate them, and you don't give them more than what they deserve.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, this is football. It's 11 against 11. You do what you have to do. Barcelona lost 8-2 to Bayern Munich before, so it's football. You never know. On paper, it's something, but on the pitch, it's something else.
Indeed, that is very, very true. Well, Mohammed, may that dream come true. Wish you all the best for this tournament. Wish you all your loved ones, all the players' loved ones, safety and health over the next coming weeks and months as well. Thanks very much for joining us, and good luck for the next few weeks.
Thank you. Appreciate it.